George Washington Carver was born sometime in January 1864. His exact birth date is unknown because he was a boy born into slavery. When he was young, his mother, and his sister were kidnapped from their original owner, Moses Carver, and sold to another in Kentucky. So Mr. Carver hired a man to find them and bring them back. However, George was the only one that could be found. He was never reunited with his family, so the Carvers raised him as their own, and when he grew up, encouraged him to follow his dreams and taught him how to read and write. Finally, he was old enough to decide that he wanted to go to school, but African Americans were not permitted to attend public school in the area he was in. So he traveled 10 miles south to a town called Neosho, and when he got there, it was night and the school was closed. So he went into a barn, laid down, and slept there for the night. And the next morning, he woke up and met a woman named Mariah Watkins. The two struck up a conversation, and he told her that he was there to learn education. And she told him, "You must learn all you can. Then go back out into the world and give your learning back to the people." And those words made a huge impression on him. Those words pushed him to make many accomplishments, including two great ones. One, being him graduating from college while being an African American, and two, was that he became the head of the agricultural department at Tuskegee Institute. But most importantly, he accomplished all these things while overcoming racism of the 1800s. Once Mr. Carver received his high school diploma, he applied to a few colleges and was finally accepted to Highland College in Kansas. He was so anxious he arrived there as soon as possible, but when they saw him, they immediately turned him down because of the color of his skin. But he didn't let that get him down. He got on a wagon that same day and traveled to Ness Country, Kansas. There he homesteaded a claim of land, cared for a small conservatory of plants and flowers, and plowed 17 acres manually and planted many crops. In 1888, he decided that he wanted to go back to school. So he got a $300 bank loan for education, and in 1890 he went back to school studying art and piano at Simpson College in Indianola, Iowa. However, while in art class, his teacher noticed his talent for painting flowers, so she encouraged him to study botany, and he took her advice. The next year, he attended the Iowa State Agricultural College. He was the first African American student and eventually the first African American faculty member there. When he completed his bachelor's, he went on to go get his master's. Now, the second accomplishment was when he became head of the Department of Agriculture for Tuskegee Institute in 1896. He worked there for 47 years of his life, and he even designed a mobile classroom to take the education to the farmers. Some of his other accomplishments are discovering 300 uses of peanuts and others for soybeans, pecans, and sweet potatoes. He even created a plastic-like material out of soybeans that Henry Ford used in his automobiles. But as amazing as all of these accomplishments are, the thing that is most intriguing is that he was African American, and he accomplished all these things when his race was spit on, treated horribly, even killed because of the color of their skin. The fact that he overcame this is one of the most amazing things, going from a slave boy to a famous man. And I think that is something out of this story that all of us can learn, is that when we get kicked down, beat up, we have to get up, and we have to go, and we have to take what we have and give it to the community. George Washington Carver is not only an inspiration to me, but should be an inspiration to everyone.